Hello and greetings from the Montana State Capitol. We're coming to you sort of live, unedited, I guess is more correct today. I'm Carly Johnson. I'm your Montana Farm Bureau State Affairs Coordinator, and I'm here to give you an update on all the interesting things that happened in Helena this week while the rest of you folks were in San Antonio enjoying the American Farm Bureau Convention. So we started off Monday talking about water. Senate Bill 61 came through the House, and that's a bill that we supported in the Senate, and it codifies into code the importance of stream gauges. Next was Senate Bill 178 was heard in Senate Natural Resources, and that bill allows for the temporary leasing of water rights. On the surface, we're supportive of the idea of leasing water. The challenge, of course, is that we want to make sure that other water right users are protected. And this bill didn't have some of those important protections in place. It allowed for it allowed for up to 2,000 acre feet of water to be diverted over 20 days. It also allowed the water to be used every 5 out of 10 years. And then finally, and probably what we're most concerned about, is that it does not have a process to notify other water users of proposed projects and give them an ability to object to those projects if they think there could be an adverse effect on their own water right. So for those reasons, we oppose the bill. We are hoping to get some amendments on that and put in some of those important protections that would allow us to support the bill, since we do like the idea of water leasing. The next day, we got to talk about noxious weeds. There's a Senate Bill 168 came through Finance and Claims, and that takes an additional $10 million of general fund and puts it into the Noxious Weed Trust. The bill does not allow for the trust to go over that $10 million, so it doesn't require that 3/4 constitutional change to be able to remove this $10 million. However, once money's gone into the trust, even with a majority vote from the legislature in the future to potentially take that money back, it's still statutorily required to be used for noxious weeds control or research. And the Noxious Weed Trust provides really critical funding for counties and other entities to be able to control noxious weeds and prevent them from getting into all of our fields and pastures. So we're happy to be able to support that bill. The other thing that came up this week is House Bill 119 passed on second reading across the House floor, 59-41, and headed to appropriations. And that appropriation hearing was Thursday. That was a pretty simple first appropriations hearing for me, with a zero fiscal impact to the state. So we were happy to be able to continue to support that idea and hopefully be able to give ranchers an opportunity to vote on that referendum and decide if the cattle committee is something that they think would be of value to them on their operations. And then we're going to wrap up this afternoon with House Bill 256. That's a bill carried by Ken Walsh that will allow a mechanism to be set up to fund water storage projects in the state, which is really going to be critical as we move forward with increased demand. And there is broad support for that, and we're excited to be able to support that based on our policy as well. Water storage is going to be a critical piece of any sort of water mitigation moving forward, and then also to allow us to capitalize on being a headwater state. So with that, I think that pretty much sums up the week. We'll be back to you next week, and we'll, of course, be continuing to represent you here on the Hill. If you want to join us, Calling on the Capitol is February 10th and 11th. We'll provide training and an opportunity for you to really get in and get your hands dirty in this process. And we certainly appreciate you watching and your engagement on all these important issues for Montana agriculture. Thank you, and it's a pleasure to get to put a voice to your policy.